bizarre. Some are saying it's just a matter of greed by the electricity companies.
Well, of course it is, and it's some kind of political payoff. It's got to be the story in here, because they're cutting by 80% the amount of money that you can make by selling your excess solar energy back to the power company. You used to get a credit for that, right? Because a lot of rooftop solar setups create excess energy, and you don't use as much as you make. Well, you could sell the excess. Obviously, if you have a system, you know this. That was the whole pitch, right? You could, in fact, selling it pays off the system in about 7 years in a lot of cases.
All right, we'll get into it after 4 o'clock and things you should know, and maybe it's not going to make it through the California Public Utilities Commission. All right, coming up next, we'll be back into the topic of really going after rooftop solar people. They're going to change the way the system, the pricing and the costs work, and it really could cut back and make this a severe problem for people with rooftop solar and people who want to install it. Coming up next.
John and Ken Show, Deborah Marquez News, KFI AM 640.
New rate plans for electricity have been approved for Irvine, Huntington Beach, Fullerton, and Buena Park.
It's really about giving consumer and businesses choice of who they buy energy from. And then within the choice of the Orange County Power Authority, 3 different menu options.
OC Power Authority board member Mike Posey says one option includes 38% renewable energy at a rate equivalent to SoCal Edison. Rates would be about 7% higher if a customer chooses 100% renewable energy. Businesses can start with a new plan in April. Homeowners can start in the fall. Consumers can also opt to stick with SoCal Edison.
All right. You're probably familiar with solar heating panels that people install on their roofs. And one of the perks that you get is that since most solar heating systems create more electricity than the homeowner uses, the excess is sold back to the power company, and you get a credit on your bill. And suddenly, the Public Utilities Commission announced that credit's going to be cut by 80%. Now, that credit's important because it helps you mitigate the cost of the solar panel system. Usually it pays for itself in a little over 7 years. And now you lose 80% of the credit. And why? Well, the power companies see this as a big slice out of the profit margin. So they wanted it back, and presumably they wrote checks to the right people. And the Public Utilities Commission caved in and is taken away this much of this credit that people get when they sell the energy from their solar system. And we're going to talk now with Mike Teresso. He's president of Baker Electric Home Energy in Escondido. And among other things, they install solar power systems. Because I'm sure Mike, welcome to the show. I'm sure you're stunned by this.
Oh, it is crazy. It is crazy. Whatever the Public Utility Commission hopes to accomplish by doing this is 100% opposite of what we're trying to do here in the state. I mean, the state of California and Governor Newsom are pushing for 100% renewables by 2045. And all the rooftops that we have here in California are perfect for, helping us achieve that goal. And with the proposal, it just makes it uneconomical for anybody to put solar on the roof anymore.
I mean, I really don't understand. They've been pushing this for so many years. It was considered, really a great idea to generate your own electricity on your property and then make a little money off it to pay for the system. I don't know why they would do anything to disrupt it.
Well, the only thing we have, it's a pure profit grab by the utilities. Right? Today we pay, a solar customer pays about $10 in fees to the utility, and in return, they're getting credit on the bill for everything that goes back to the grid, which gets shared by everybody else. It helps produce more electricity for everybody here in the state to keep costs down. But on this proposed decision, they want to change that for new customers going solar by taking that $10 a month fee and turning it into a $50 or $60 or more tax every month for people putting solar on their roofs. And then instead of getting a full credit for what you're exporting back to the grid, they're going to give you 20% of that value.
Now, this is a big industry, right? In California, this is like 100,000 workers.
Yeah, I mean, the industry here has got 70, 80,000 workers. I mean, alone here with Baker, we've got 300 workers. And with this proposed decision, a good portion of those jobs are really at risk.
Now, you wrote a piece that ran in the San Diego Union Tribune, and you said that just in 2019, California workers installed 1,200 megawatts of local solar, home solar panels. That's the equivalent of 2 large coal-fired power plants.
Yeah.
So, this is having a tremendous effect to help exactly what Newsom claims he wants, which is a renewable energy system in California.
Yeah, and it's silly because, if the PUC agrees to move forward with the decision, essentially everybody with solar will be paying the utility company every month for the benefit of having solar on the roof. It's senseless.
I don't know if you saw this story today in the San Diego Union Tribune that Newsom himself has said that he has just seen the draft plan. I've had a chance just to review it, but I'll say this: we have some work to do. It sounds like he's not a fan of some of this.
No, I don't, how involved he's been up until this point, we don't know. And the decision here by the PUC is supposed to come by the 27th of this month on whether or not they're going to adopt this or amend it or completely throw it away and start over. But, I did see that, and I think he's becoming aware, going like, well, the PUC and what the state or what Newsom really want to accomplish with renewable energy seem to be, they seem to be polar opposites of one another. So, and he appoints the commissioners on the PUC, so he's got a lot of influence there.
I have a feeling they're going to postpone the vote because the update this afternoon is that there was supposed to be oral arguments before the CPUC on the proposed decision. They've been canceled, and a date has not yet been set. It sounds like they're going to put this off, and they can postpone that January 27th date that you just said. They might be able to push that off. Some of this, Mike, I'm reading in this story, and I mentioned this the other day, and we all were like pondering what it meant. It's something about equity. They want to establish a $600 million equity fund to support clean energy and energy storage programs for low-income Californians. They're of the opinion, it seems, based on what I'm reading, that only more middle-class and well-to-do people have been able to afford rooftop solar and get the benefits of all this with the net metering, and it's leaving the more low-income customers who are, part of the old electricity grid hurting. Do you buy any of that, or...
No, we don't buy any of that. I mean, about 7% of the total energy that we produce, about 7% of the total energy produced here in California comes from rooftop solar. And to make an argument blaming those of us with solar on our roofs for, increasing rates and somehow it's not equitable, we find to be, quite frankly, ridiculous. I mean, the rates keep going up and they keep making things more expensive for everyone here, regardless of low income, middle income, high income. They just keep making it more and more expensive because they're just not operating the grid efficiently. And they just want to keep adding more and more power lines that every time the wind blows, they're going to turn the power off.
I think you hit on it. California has like the highest electricity rates in the nation, and they're going to keep skyrocketing as they push more and more towards alternative energy sources. But yeah, they're looking at this and saying, well, these solar people are doing better. We have to do something to equalize this. What can we do? I'll reduce the amounts that they get.
Then subsidize the solar panels for poor people. But why would you take away something that is wildly successful for the goals you say?
Yeah, they got big surplus monies. They should be able to do something with that.
Who's on the PUC? Are these all former energy executives?
You know what? They've been in the energy business for a long time. I'll say that.
Yeah, okay. Well, then somebody's doing somebody a favor here. All right. Well, listen, good luck, Mike. We'll keep on top of this. Maybe we'll talk with you again as the story progresses.
Hey, great, guys. Thanks for the time.
All right.
Yeah, I just went to the California Public Utilities Commission website so I could see who these people are, but I haven't been able to sort of. It's up at there. By the way, San Francisco is where they're based.
Yeah, I mean, the main utilities are PG&E, Southern California Edison, San Diego Gas and Electric. We know the
Alice Reynolds is the president, and of course, she was appointed by Newsom, really just last year. Prior to her appointment, she served as Newsom's senior advisor for energy.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Before that, she was in the Brown administration.
How could Newsom not know this? It's one of his former advisors.
The president, right?
Right. Who's the president. So he doesn't know what they're doing? I don't believe that. That's preposterous. Of course he knows what they're doing. It's a trial balloon that just got shot out of the sky.
I'm looking at another guy, a guy named Clifford. What a last name. Rechtschaffen? He's a commissioner. He was appointed by Jerry Brown back in 2017. And I'm just trying to, prior to this, oh my God, he was a senior advisor to Jerry Brown for 6 years, working on climate and energy. These are all just government glom-ons.
Yeah.
That's all they are.
They're government
I was trying
hacks.
to see if they were utility people, but they're all just government hacks.
They have been. The PUC in the past has had a lot of PG&E people on it, which is why PG&E literally got away with murder with all their fires.
He was like, this guy was a lawyer. Environmental law and policy. He was with the Marin County Legal Aid Foundation. Oh, my God.
Yeah, more fakes.
All right, we got more coming up.
John and Ken, KFI. Deborah, Mark has news.
4 people have been arrested in connection with the shooting death of an off-duty LAPD officer. LA